is Autheman, and I'm an international consultant working predominantly on the topics of narratives and migration. Issues of language and journalism are very, very important when we look at migration, because obviously they influence the way the public opinion, but also policymakers look at migration. Language, we've seen over and over in a lot of countries, can be very heated, sometimes sensational. In a lot of countries, you will have synonyms to words like invasion or flood or illegal. And so the conversation around migration can get very heated, sometimes quite toxic. And we see that the language can fuel a lot of anti-migrant sentiment. It's quite difficult to figure out exactly what can be done because a lot of people participate in crafting the language that it's used. Journalists, obviously, they are mediators, they are intermediaries, they are platforms, so they are helping shape public discourse. But civil society organizations, politicians, international organizations, migrants themselves, all play a role in crafting language. What's ideal and what tends to be recommended, particularly by the international community, is to try to focus on rights-based terminology when that terminology exists. And in the context of migration, a lot of words have been defined specifically and attached to specific international legal instruments. One might think, for example, of the word refugee, which derives from the Geneva 1951 Convention, and therefore if you're using the word refugee properly from a rights-based approach, you're connecting it to a specific legal framework, and therefore there shouldn't be any confusion about what you're describing. The role of journalists in terms of shaping the public debate and participating in healthy conversations on migration is also quite critical. Sometimes it's a bit, I would say, misunderstood. There tends to be sensational reporting or sensational language. It's not always the responsibility of journalists. In a lot of cases, they're just quoting what the public debate on migration is in a given country, and they don't always have that much leeway in terms of moving away from what politicians or participation in society actually says. Ethical, deontological journalism tries to suggest that journalists should do no harm, and so when they are manipulating inflammatory discourse, they should be very careful. Make clear that they are quoting speech from an individual, but not make that statement as a specific truth deliberately. Journalists have an additional task, I would say, right now, which is even more complex in this time of social media, which is trying to restore facts as much as possible. We live in a time of misinformation and disinformation. Mis and disinformation don't always have precisely the same root causes or the same mechanisms, but journalists play a critical role in trying to restore information and correct facts and fight against disinformation. I look forward to continuing work on this topic.